Welcome to another episode of What's Good Signal, where we recognize different companies, teams, the community for going above and beyond and helping out others during this time. And today I have Sam Caucci, who is CEO and founder of 1Huddle. Welcome, Sam.
Thanks for having me.
And I also have Signal's Senior Talent Development Trainer, Chris Recker. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you.
Chris and I wanted to recognize Sam because him and his team have been amazing. For those of you who don't know about 1Huddle, it has taken learning and training that we do in HR and been able to gamify it and make it fun and easy for people to retain. And it's been a great tool. But nowadays, with what we're going through and being second home and doing remote training, it is such a vital tool to help reinforce it. So we wanted to first thank Sam and his team for always being so engaging and amazing. A quick shout out to Jared, Ben, Roger, and Cole for always being great partners. But Sam, can you tell us a little bit about what you and your company are doing today, especially during these times, to help out your customers and the community and your employees?
Sure. And, I also want to make a shout out to you all because, I think today, more than ever, the thing I've learned is that companies are processing the circumstance they're in, one of two ways. Some are choosing to sort of step back and, in doing that might be leaving a lot of their team behind, and others are sort of leaning in. So I just want to compliment Felipe, Chris, and the Signal family because, you got a group that's choosing to lean in and find ways forward. And that's we don't hear it in the media, but that's just not as common as we need right now. We need more people doing it. So I just want to say that the things we've seen, when this happened, it's sort of become like the pre-COVID and the post-COVID, era is the way we're looking at it. 1Huddle, like you said, we believe that there's as a tool, there's opportunity to make training and learning something employees want to do by tapping into their competitive spirit, and that was why we created the company. It's evolved into a full workforce platform. And since, COVID occurred, we realized that a pretty large population of our user base, their businesses are stalled or they got to make tough decisions around laying folks off or furloughing. And, I would compliment our entire team because our gut instinct was one of how do we help? How do we lean in right now? Forget sales numbers, forget pipeline, forget renewals. That's hard. That's hard to do. We were lucky enough as a business to be able to understand how much we could help. And I still remember March 11th, 2020, we called an all team meeting, and Jared and our customer success team got on the phone with, started the process of getting on the phone with customers and saying, do you need more users? Do you need more games? How can we help? It's on us. And then our sales team under Roger was directed, let's go and talk to our pipeline and say, we know you're probably stalled right now. That contract that was in process is probably not going to come across the finish line. Let's just get you spun up and started. And, we'll figure it out when we figure it out. So that was how we processed it. I think it was one of, life became like a day by day scenario for business. And it was like a real opportunity for us to lean into our core values.
Well, that's amazing. That's great. And thank you for being a leader yourself, because obviously you're taking this by day like everybody else, but it sounds like you and your team are really making a difference. Chris, can you share a little bit about how we've used 1Huddle and how it's helped you in your job?
Yeah, it's been a great tool and resource for what we do, but especially now with everything that we're dealing with in terms of working remotely and training remotely, it's a great resource for that. But even before the pandemic hit us, it was something that was very important for us because we're a small to mid-sized credit union, and as such, I do a lot of different things. It's not just facilitating the training, but developing it and everything that goes into the training ecosystem. So the amazing part about 1Huddle for us has been that becomes kind of the reinforcement component of the training ecosystem, as well as part of the facilitation. So we like to use 1Huddle during live classroom facilitation for competitive gaming in the classroom. That becomes a lot of fun, the multiplayer functionality. And then it's really fun to see the truly competitive people kind of rise to the top when we launch contests and things like that. That's been a lot of fun to see, and we hear some stories about how even within our single branches or departments, how people kind of stoke each other on. And but we have truly found that it really helps with the reinforcement of what we're doing and the learning, before we get to the reinforcement. And I know I did a lot of research before we went down this road, and 80% of learners say that they do learn more effectively when there's gaming involved. So it's been just an amazing partnership. And beyond the things that it does for us, the relationship that we have with your people, it couldn't be better. I mean, so you guys are just nailing it when it comes to service and portfolio management. People like Jared, just couldn't ask for better partnerships with the people that you have. So you've done a great job with that as well.
So Sam, I gotta imagine, nowadays more and more people are probably gaming than ever because they're stuck at home. I know that I've rediscovered my gaming passion that I used to have when I was younger, and I've been gaming. I took my son's Xbox, and I'm playing games now with friends online. And how do you think that's going to impact the future of your business?
Sure. I mean, it's definitely changing. Listen, when I started the company, I went on my first round of meetings, and I had a dozen different investors or potential customers tell me, we really like the idea, but you can't call it a game, Sam. It's not serious enough. I mean, you guys would understand. Hey, we love the idea, this mobile trivia thing, but don't call it a game. Let's make it something more serious. And I don't know why I said no, but it was one of those things. I said, no, this is the right position. And so I think as you see more and more people leaning into games as a way to unwind or as a way to, I think the thing that's interesting is people are starting to realize what we know most, which is a game is a connector. You all use the game to onboard people quicker, upskill them, communicate with them. But the other byproduct of competition is, what other forum do people come together and fail and are okay with it? Yep. And compete? So I think what's changing is people's outlook on the community component, because as we're all sitting in our own living rooms, I don't know about your team. I could guess, just knowing the Signal family, and I know a lot of other companies, I got people on my team who miss each other. They just miss that camaraderie or being, office banter. So I think that it's going to change the way we look at using technology to keep us together.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Our CEO's Francois Relations has been amazing about using this platform that we're using right now on this call, Teams, to encourage our employees after hours. Use it to socialize. Use it to get together, to chat, whatever you want to do. Even if you want to have a happy hour, be smart about it. Don't be stupid. But use it to get together and stay together, because people nowadays that said, "Oh, I've always wanted to work from home," or like, "I wish I could go to the office. I'm dying to go back." Yep. One last question for you, Sam. Know that you're a big sports fan. Everyone's probably just going through withdrawal right now. Anything that you're doing, or any tips for people out there that are going through withdrawal from sports, and any insight on what you feel about it?
Sure. And roll tide, by the way, if you don't see that helmet over my shoulder. So yeah, big sports fan. I think that, people, I can speak for my example. Like, I'm replaying old Alabama games on YouTube. So, my 3-year-old daughter, for a long time, she started watching Alabama football with me, and always knew that if Alabama was on TV, it was Saturday, being 2-3 years old. So now she's been confused, but it's become an opportunity, because every day I put Alabama on, or an old game. So I would say it's an awesome opportunity to, dig into some of the good old stuff, and there, it's there's more at our fingertips than ever, and I know I'm using it as an opportunity to go back and check out some of the cool stuff back when basketball was really basketball in the 90s, for example.
I'm an Auburn fan, but I still like these things. So, but I still like.
That's cool. Yeah.
Well,
you got us this year.
Yeah.
Those are some great tips. Chris, do you have any tips for those going through sports withdrawal? Anything you're doing differently?
Same thing. I mean, my only wish is that, if COVID were going to happen, maybe it could have happened before the Titans beat the Ravens in the playoffs. That would have been a little preferable for me. But no, same thing. I've just enjoyed the some of the classic games, and I like that the NBA's kind of gotten creative. They've done the NBA 2K games where they're playing each other, like virtually on like Xbox One or whatever. And they had like a horse competition, I believe, on Sunday night. So that was kind of fun how that's happening. I did find myself early on, before they shut everything down, one of the favorites for the Kentucky Derby was doing this race in Arkansas. So I watched some random horse race in Arkansas online. So that's what our life has come to. But, you just have to make the most of the situation. And, I think it'll just make us appreciate the things that maybe we took for granted a little bit more once things do start to return to normal a little bit.
Well, Sam, Chris and I can't thank you and your team enough for everything that you've done for us and for your customers and the community to keep us more engaged and move forward during this time. For those of you who have not checked out 1Huddle, go out there and check it out, especially their engagement videos. They are hysterical. I gotta say, I love your videos. They are funny as crap. So go out there and check them out if you haven't seen them. If you're looking for a way to enhance your training and reinforce it with your team in a fun and retainable way, reach out to Sam and this team at 1Huddle, because they will definitely help you out. So thank you to everyone. Stay safe, everyone. Please, please, please take care of those essential workers out there. Continue to help them and appreciate them, and stay safe. We'll see you next week.